Oh, Canada, our home and gracious land. I don't know if those are the words. You may be thinking, why in the world would you be singing such a beautiful song about Canada? You ever notice that other countries, I live in the United States. I don't know if I mentioned, I don't live in Cleveland, but I live in Ohio. And you ever notice that other national anthems are just way better than our national anthem? Like, Oh, Canada is an actual song. It's actually really nice, and I like it. Now, why would I be singing Oh, Canada, you're wondering? Well, I love Canada, first off. I think Canada's fantastic, a beautiful country. It's a very civil country as compared to ours with all the violence and things that we have here. They don't have that in Canada. They really don't. I don't know what the difference is, but they don't have that. I think it's less people. I think we have more people, and I think that's probably why everybody gets so mad all the time. But secondly, because on vacation, I met a very, very nice couple, Megan and Greg, from Canada. I had not mentioned them yet. I received a message in my emails the other day about that I had not mentioned them. So, first thing I check off on the list here is say hi to Megan and Greg. They watch the show, as everybody does. It's a fantastic show. Welcome to your Vape at 5. I am your host. I'm BlackCat. Today I have a review. And the other reason I was saying, oh, Canada, is because I have a all-in-one stacked Mech mod from Unicorn Vape Incorporated, or Unicorn Vape Inc. This is from British Columbia, Canada, our brothers to the north there. And it is the Bastard V2 kit. Now, this is a very unique mech in that it is a one-piece stack mod, right? One-piece stack, which is really cool. It comes with not only the mech, but with a RDA, which is the Unicorn RDA. A little older. I think it was first released in like 2018, but this is a different version because this one is actually 26 millimeter, which I believe the first one was 24 or 25 millimeters, so it's a little different. Same build deck, that TM24 Pro build deck that they had. Same build deck on this one, performs very, very similar. So today I'm going to show you this mech mod. I'm going to show you everything you get with this mech mod. We're going to bring it back up top. I'm going to vape on it a little bit, and then I'll give you my pros and cons, my final thoughts. And then we'll get out of here. Now, if you're watching this live, Addy, 80, if you're watching this live, Jane Dodd, I know you're watching it live, then you know today is giveaway day. We have a giveaway today for a set of coils from our featured builder of the week at Adiejnewquay. And with that, you're going to get some unbelievable e-liquid from Shy Tots, some cat's whiskers. So to enter that giveaway, go to Monday's episode. There's 2 of them. Pick one. They have the exact same tile. Pick one. It'll be episode 301. So in episode 301, go to the comments section and put a number in between 1 and 150. That will enter you into today's giveaway. So good luck to everybody. I met Trevor from Unicorn Mods about, I don't know, maybe before I went on vacations. This is over a month ago. And we had discussed I was going to buy some mods from him for the patrons and try to get everybody a really, really nice deal by buying more. And the guy is just like the nicest guy in the world and very accommodating. The order had changed a couple times and he was very accommodating to that and really just wanted to, he believes in his products and he wanted to get them out to the public or to the patrons to enjoy. And I had heard really, really good things about them. People that actually have purchased them before had really good things to say about them. So I was excited to try it. Well, I didn't actually purchase one just because money was moving around. I was getting ready to go on vacation, so I didn't really have any free money to go. Well, in his kindness, he actually sent me this Bastard V2 kit. And I just want to say thank you for that. He did not send it to me with the intention of it being reviewed. After he sent it to me and I used it for a few days, I was like, can I review it? And he's like, well, do you like it? And I was like, yeah, I really like it. He's like, well, then by all means now. He didn't care. He didn't make any decisions based on that. I asked him if I could review it before I even tried it, and which is the God honest truth. So he didn't know if I was going to like it or not like it. You'll see what I think today. So without further ado, I'm going to take you down. I'm going to show you what you get with this Bastard V2 kit. And we'll come back up top. I'll have a vape, if you guys don't mind, and then we'll talk about it. All right, let's go down to the table. hitting down low. Oh, there we go. Let me get my focus out here. As you guys know, I will be manually focusing here because the autofocus does not work. So when you purchase the Bastard V2 kit from Unicorn Vapes Incorporated, you're going to get it in this really, really nice carrying case. So this is how the mod is presented to you. And you can actually continue to use this and carry it around. Very convenient if you wanted to carry it somewhere and not keep it in your pocket. A lot of extras with this, and I want to go through these and show them to you because I feel like they deserve it. Well, you've got two different sets of extras in here. First, you have your extras for the actual RDA that you're going to get. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over these. It is pretty much the standard package. You're going to get a bunch of O-rings. You're going to get your Allen key here for your RDA. And you're going to get a ton of extra deck screws. One thing that is really nice that he provides in here with it is a squonk pen. So you do have a squonk pen, even though you're going to be using it primarily on this Mech because it matches really well. But if you did want to take it off there and squonk it on another device, then you can certainly do that. As I said, you have plenty of extra deck screws here. So very, very nice. Second thing, he gives you an extra drip tip. The drip tip that comes on the mod or on the RDA is this one. It's a stainless steel. Let's see if I can get that. There you go. Stainless steel black matchy of the RDA. There we go. Very wide bore drip tip, 810. The other he gives you is this matchy. And I'll show you how that matches to the mod here in a second. But that is just absolutely gorgeous. Again, wide bore. Next thing he gives you is a pair of Unicorn Incorporated dog tags, which can go around the mod. Very cool. I didn't take these out of here. It's MDX on the back. I did not take it out of the plastic here, but just a really, really nice touch. And then really the things that got me, he gives you a couple extra springs. You have your button spring, which is silver plated copper. Gives you your contact spring, and then he gives you another silver plated firing pin, which I think is really, really nice. Now, it is very lightly silver plated. A few twists with your screwdriver and you'll see the copper below it. Works very effectively, though. I've heard people say that silver plating doesn't really make a difference. I don't know if it does or not. I'm not a geologist or a chemist, but I can tell you this mod hits really, really, really nicely. So I think that certainly can't hurt. Let's take a look at the RDA. So let me bring you down here. 26 millimeter Unicorn RDA. Pull this out. Let me take that off of here first. So it comes in a couple different, well, actually it doesn't come in a couple different colors if you buy it in the kit. You can actually get these in a couple different colors, but not in the kit. It's going to come in black. So let's take a look at the cap first. First, there's your 810 drip tip, which I will show you actually matches the button there. So I'll show you the button a little bit closer, but you can see that it actually matches the button very nicely. Really nice touch. I love the red against the black. Top there says Unicorn Vape Incorporated. This piece does come out. So it is a 3 or 4 piece RDA. 2x2 times 6 air holes on either side. It does close down to a single coil if you wanted to vape it in that fashion. Almost direct airflow onto the coils. It actually comes up a little bit below it when you actually install them, but for the most part, it is a direct airflow RDA. There's your unicorn symbol that is CNC'd into the RDA barrel. I really like that symbol a lot. Very cool. So there it is. And you can see how well this matches. The blacks there absolutely match perfectly. So without any wear and tear on either item, you're going to have a really, really beautiful setup. The deck of this RDA, again, it kind of mirrors the Twisted Messes Pro, or that's kind of what I took away from it. 4 ports here are 4 2x3. Close that out. Sorry, guys. So 2x3, they're actually 10 millimeters apart. So you can fit in monster coils, and that's if you're going to use these two inside, like this one and this one here. But if you want to use the outside one, you could actually put in coils that are 14 millimeters apart. or 14 millimeters in across. So you can fit in some monstrous builds in this thing, which is great because it is set up for a dual battery stack. So you're going to be putting a lot of voltage through it, and you want big coils in there to bring that resistance up a little bit. The juice well on this RDA is 8 millimeters deep. Hex, it has Phillips head screws on top there. Not a big fan of those, but they worked out pretty well. I feel like I was stripping them a little bit because I took the coils out and put them in a couple different times. Tried some different coils, but they provide so many extra ones, it's really not that big of a deal. Bottom here says Unicorn Vape Incorporated. And my number is 237, which doesn't actually match the number on the Mech mod. I think my Mech mod is 214, but no big deal. Nice protruding 510 pin. That is a solid copper 510 pin, guys, which is really, that's a really nice touch. That's the same thing that's on the Keen, which I think is a really, or not the Keen, but on the Ardent, which are really, really nice touch. And it protrudes nicely, so you have no worries in hybrid configuration there. So that is the RDA. Without spending too much time on it there, I just figured I'd show it to you. If you've seen the Unicorn RDA, then you absolutely know what we're dealing with here. So here's the actual Mech mod. Let me bring you up here and reset the focus. All right, it is 170 millimeters across, or from top to bottom, 27 millimeters in diameter, straight across. It does not indent at all. It is all one piece. On the barrel here of the Mech, you're going to see the Unicorn symbol, and on the bottom here it says Bastard MDX. You can see that there. Very, very nice. Got this, it is brass with this electroplated black coating on it. Really, really nice and sexy. On the bottom here it says Unicorn Incorporated. See if you can see that there. The button on this is really nice. Let me see if I can focus that in a little bit. Has a unicorn symbol on it and that really cool red color. I don't know if it comes in different colors because this is the color I got, but here again, the drip tip matches it perfectly. So you can see there. Absolutely gorgeous setup. The top here. 3 venting holes that sit right underneath your RDA. Gives you a little bit of room though, so it can vent even if your RDA is flush across there. Top of this actually comes off just like this here, so you could add a third stack section to it if you wanted to. I know the original Bastard kit has a stack section that you could add to it if you wanted to. I believe it's knurled though, so it'll be a little bit different look for it, but heck, that might look really cool. I don't know. Again, it is brass. Threads on it are really, really nice. I'm trying to show you those as well. So here's your threading on it. If I can avoid the glare and get that focused in. There you go. So threads on it are really nice. Didn't have any problems with it here. And you can actually, when you screw it in, nice and smooth. Access your batteries by taking the bottom off here. Again, nice and smooth. So instead of having a separating disc for your stack, you actually have a little case here for your battery. You can use a 21700 or a 2700. I don't know if you could use an 18650. I don't think it would fit correctly just because it wouldn't be long enough to actually fit in there and not rattle. So I think you're going to be stuck with a 21700 or a 2700 with this mod, which is perfect for me. Here's the button. Well, let me show you inside the Mech. If you can actually see in there, it's nice and clean. Came spotless again. Nice beefy threads. Threads look great. Solid brass. Looks really, really nice down there. And here is the switch. So let's take a look at it here. It is not a constant contact switch, which I originally thought it would. It was. Got this nice plastic lever here that sits flush against your battery. Make sure you have no battery rattle, which is really nice. Focus that in a bit. And you have this silver contact pin, which is going to be how you access it here. So to get to that, we're just going to unscrew it. It's a little bit, not complicated, but it's kind of a pain in the ass putting it back together. So I wouldn't suggest doing that unless you really wanted to see the guts or you were worried about changing out your spring. Because once you get this apart here, I'll show you. No, I'm going to have to keep screwing it. And I'll show you the little, this is like the third time I've opened it, but there is a little bit of wear and tear on that pin. I'll just focus focus this in a bit for you guys so you can see. And you'll see there where the copper's starting to come through a little bit. There you go. So there is a little bit of wear and tear on that pin, but I didn't notice any performance. So there's your pin. Here's your cap actually here. Nice little Ultim cap. Here's the contact spring that you get, which you have an extra one. Here's a solid copper button. Really, really nice looking button there. Nice and clean. You can tell they really put this through the washer before it was all sent out. And then here's that silver button spring right there. Nice beefy spring. Really, really good resistance on that. But it does tend to, and I'll show you when I fire it, one of the things that I found, it can be a little stiff to fire, and it can be a little difficult to fire if you do not hit it exactly the way it needs to be hit. But you guys will see that. Brass button. Both sides there. Nice and sexy. Nice and clean. Again, super clean. I did not actually clean this mech at all before I did the review, which I typically would do. I didn't feel like I needed to. I took it apart and looked at everything. And I was like, this is like one of the first times I think I've ever not needed to clean it before I did it. So put it back together. You're just going to get that little copper piece back in there. There we go. Once you get it in there through your hole, just push it up. Try to hold it best you can. Drop your spring in there. Put your Ultim cap back on. Push that down and then grab your contact pin. Put it back in there. Then just try to guide it with your screwdriver best you can until you feel it catch. Let's see if I got it. I think I got it. Yeah. Once you feel you got it, just screw it in. Focus that in a little bit for you guys. There we go. And once you feel you got it, just screw it right back down in there. So you really only need to do that if you wanted to take it apart and clean it when you first got it. And then if you felt the performance of the springs weren't that great, then you could go in there and change your springs out. But there's really no other need. And you don't really want to, once you got it screwed in there, you don't need to crank down on it at all. Just let it sit in there nice and tight. It'll be fine. Make sure you got good action here. Make sure you got good action here. And you're ready to go. So I'm going to put this back together. Let's go back up top and put this back together and we're going to talk about it. Plus, I think if I bring you back up, well, plus I know if I bring you back up top, then you'll be able to see the actual mech a little bit better than me sitting down there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm going to take you back down real quick because I want to wick up this RDA, which will be a really quick wick because I still have my cotton on the series coils. I don't have many series coils. So I was like, just use these again. Typically, I put like, the same ones back in, but since I don't know, since I only have very few series coils, like I just left them wicked. I was like, I don't want to ruin these, like pull the wick out and mess the coils up. So I just left it in there. Pretty lazy, actually. But let's bring you back down. I'll wick this thing up real quick, and then we'll talk about it. I don't know how thrilling this will be, because it'll be super quick. But oh well. All right, there we go. Let me give myself a little bit of room here. I always tend to get the camera too close. I'm doing this. There we go. All right, grab this here. Just going to slide it back in. Super easy to install on this. You do have, each one has its own hole. There we go. Let's see, is it down? Oh, it came down some. Hold on one second. These actually came down. I was wondering why it wasn't fitting in there. There we go. This one came down. This one came down. All right, so I'm just going to place that back in there like that. And let's screw it back in. All right, that one's in there pretty good. And put this one in here. So I got some really good news from Veronica. Now, you see that how it spins a little bit? I just feel like Phillips heads strip. I don't know. I just always feel like Phillips heads are going to strip. And this one is almost ready to strip. I can't stand Phillips heads. Much rather be a hex. All right, put this in here. Down in there. there. All right. And let's get my cotton back in the well here. Nice and tight. And right there. All right. Super easy. Nothing exciting about that at all. But I figured I would do it and show you guys what I was doing there. Yeah, Holy Fiber is really good stuff, and I didn't want to. I'm not saying I don't want to waste it because I have a lot of it, but I was like, I just put the cotton in like 2 days ago. It's like I'm not pulling that cotton. I'm such a miser. It's like I'm not wasting that cotton. I'm just gonna take out the damn thing and put them right back in. I tried to make an excuse that I didn't want to waste the coils, which it wouldn't have wasted them. I just didn't want to change the cotton out. I was like, that cotton's perfect. It tastes perfect. It's broken in, which just has a really short break-in time, but there we go. Now, let's juice this thing up. First thing I want to show you guys is the performance of it. Now, being a stack 21700, a couple things. One, theoretically, you shouldn't get more power, but you do, and it's because of the voltage loss. And there's things about the batteries that are just different that you can get better performance out of 21700s. Slightly, not overly, but the real thing you can do, and I didn't do with this one, but it allows you to build a little bit lower and still be very, very safe. I'm not going to tell you to build below 0.3 on anything, but if you were entailed, it would be better to do it on dual 21700s than it would be to do on dual 18650s. Reason being is you have more room. Thank you. And your amp level. Hey, baby, good to see you. On your amp level. I said thank you to my wife when she said I'm home. I'm like, I don't know if I did that. Anyway, so that is something to keep in mind. I built this at 0.34. That's what I put it at. I didn't want to go too low. I was like, you know what? I'll keep it around 0.34 and we'll just roll with that. I had a little bit of a sore throat from Nick Salt and stuff like that, so I didn't want to go too low with it. But this is a 0.34 on this Mech. Get here. There we go. So the performance is there. That's a 0.34 build. So I would definitely say the performance is there. Let's take a couple hits off here, and I'll have you guys yell baby clouds at me, but let's take a couple pulls off and see how it does. Let's open it up a little bit more. I had one side open. All right, now let's take one more. All right, guys. So I hope that you can see by the amount. I don't know if the Vapor with the green screen, the Vapor probably doesn't look like it's producing that much, but let me assure you, the Vapor production with this stack is absolutely fantastic. With a 0.34 build in it, to me, it's performing like it's a 0.28 or 0.27 build. Quite frankly, I think at 0.27 or 0.28. You better strap your boots on because it's going to be a hell of a fucking ride. So the performance is definitely there. I used this for about 4 days now, and I have really, really enjoyed it. I have not used a stack mech mod probably since before Christmas. So it's something that I was really interested in trying, something I'm really, really glad that I got. Let's talk about the pros and cons of this mech mod. So let's start with the cons. A couple of the cons is the button can be touchy. And you'll notice here when I did it with my right hand, it didn't fire. See right there, it didn't. Right there, it didn't. It can be a little bit touchy, so you have to be right on the center of the button to fire it. Since I'm left-handed, I haven't had any problems firing it with my left hand at all, but for some reason when I use my offhand, maybe it's weaker, maybe I don't have the same dexterity, but I did have some problems firing it. Also, part of that may be that it is heavy. I mean, it's a dual 21700, so it's a little heavy, so you're gonna be kind of in an off angle when you fire it and things like that. So that is something. The button isn't silky smooth. The other negative to this is it is a limited audience product. And what I mean by that, all vaping products are a limited audience product, but this one is even more of a niche, being that it is a 21.7 hybrid mod, or excuse me, it's a stacked 21700 hybrid mod. So this is not going to be for somebody who just starts out in vaping. This really isn't going to be for someone who just starts out using mechanical devices. And this is really not going to be for somebody who's never used a hybrid device. So there's a lot of things in here you have to be careful of. If you don't understand how to use a stacked mech mod, then you really probably should stay away from this product. If you've used one, or if you're interested in using one and you've learned some about it, maybe from at a vape shop or you watch some videos on it, this is a good starter for you. So that is a negative and a positive, but there are a lot of pros to this mod. So let's get to those. First, the performance. I showed you what this thing does. When you fire it, man, it explodes. I mean, it does exactly, when you have a stacked mech mod, that is exactly how you want it to perform, and that is why we use stacked mech mods. We want them to explode. Not explode in the sense of exploding, but vapor production, explode with vapor production. The look of it, it's sleek. I mean, it is a very sleek looking mech mod. One thing about this that is really, really nice, with the stacked mech mod, you have the separation line here between the two barrels. This one, you don't have that. It's just one giant barrel there that looks really, really nice. Got that nice CNC in there with that unicorn. I mean, it just looks absolutely fantastic. Quality of the product. The product is not only the quality, but the cleanliness of what it came as. Absolutely great attention to detail on this product. I didn't notice anything on it that really put up any red flags that it wasn't machined excellently. No machine marks or anything on the entire thing, which is really, really difficult to do with something this much metal to have no machine marks on it at all. Pretty impressive, man. And it's brass, so it's not really that hard of a metal, which could be really, really easy. I didn't notice any damage or anything to it the last 4 days, so it's also pretty durable. One thing about anything you buy from Unicorn, which is something that I want to mention, and is a pro that I'm going to start using in all. I've reviewed a Unicorn product before, but I didn't mention this. All Unicorn products come with a lifetime warranty, which I think is something that is very outstanding for a company to do that, especially in this game where there can be a lot of defective products and things like that. That's a really, really nice perk and something that you should really pay attention to in the products that you buy. Anything is damaged on this, they will take it back and replace it, or they'll give you a new one. And the last thing and the biggest thing I can draw to you guys who are looking to get a stacked mech mod, maybe as your first one, is the price. The price of this mech mod originally started out at $189 to $200, which I think in that ballpark, it is a good, very good mech mod at that price point. But now it is down to $89 for the kit. That means you'll get a $60 RDA, which is this Unicorn RDA is $60 retail, and you're going to get this stacked mech mod for $89. I don't see how you can really beat that as far as a deal. Rating this mech setup kit, the Bastard V2 kit, on a scale of poor all the way to excellent, meaning you can't live without it. This is a great stacked mod. This is a great mech mod. Everything that you get for the price of $89 really blows me away. And I think if you're looking to get a stacked mech mod, you haven't really decided which one you want to get, and you want to get one and start working with them maybe before you move on to a more higher end one. When I say higher end, I'm talking like, stacked mech mod can be about $400 or $500 once you get everything out the door. If you want to start looking at that, start with something that's $89, and that performs absolutely fantastic. I mean, you cannot beat the performances. So, thanks everybody for watching. If you're watching live, you're going to stick around for the giveaway, obviously. I hope you do. Thanks so much for watching. If you don't follow my channel, hit the subscribe button. I do this 4 days a week. I have lots of shows with other builders. On Friday, we have the Vape Hot Tub, where we usually have a celebrity on. Plus, we have Charlie on. And I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. You guys have a good one. All right. What is going down? Did everybody get updated on the giveaway? Hopefully you did. Yeah, any problem, Scott, it'll get sorted out quickly. They're really, really good over there, guys. Yeah, Mac. It's not only the stack, you get the RDA too, the whole kit for $89.